how difficult it is to play a game right now?
I don't know. You know, I just don't have a lot to say. The news is just devastating to everybody who knew him, who've known him a long time. And, he means a lot to me, obviously. He was such a great opponent, you know. It's what you want in sports. He had that DNA that very few athletes can ever have. The Tiger Woods and the Michael Jordans. It's funny. I was getting to know him more since he retired. This is a tough one. We have to go play. The news is just so devastating for Vanessa and his family, and there's just so many people he touched, it's looking at my young players and seeing how emotional they are. They didn't even know him, and it just tells you how far his reach was. So, and this is just shocking news for all of us. Sorry, I don't have a lot to say. I just can't have to go talk to a team before a game and tell them to play. Okay.
Wow. An example of the emotions that so many people around the league are feeling right now. That is a shot of LeBron James. After the Lakers game in Philadelphia last night, they stayed in the Philadelphia area. They flew back this morning, and they learned of the news while they were on their way back to L.A. As Om Young Masuk, our ESPN reporter in Los Angeles, reported earlier, the entire plane was just devastated by the news, as you might expect them to be. And there is LeBron, less than 12 hours after he passed Kobe Bryant for third on the NBA's all-time scoring list in his second season with the Lakers before he gets back to L.A. One of his mentors passes away in a helicopter crash in the Calabasas area. Speaking of that crash, we have an update right now, a live press conference going on from local officials there in Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Competitor supreme.
Thank you for loving the game of basketball.
Congratulations, and we're going to keep chasing you.
"20 years Kobe Bryant spent in the NBA, winning 5 NBA championships, but he was most proud of being a father to his 4 girls, including 13-year-old Gianna, who was on that helicopter that crashed today early this morning in Los Angeles. Kobe Bryant, 41 years old, his daughter Gianna, 13. Joining us now is Tim Legler, ESPN NBA analyst here. Tim, you spent a lot of time in the Philadelphia area. We talked about Kobe coming up there through the high school ranks at Lower Merion, leading his team to a championship, becoming a nationwide star even before he entered the NBA. That city and Kobe, what did those two things mean to one another?
Yeah, well, look, obviously, Mike, the history of Philadelphia basketball runs deep. Very proud. Kobe, the shining star amongst that. And, for me, I think about going back to the days when I was playing in the league, and I was fortunate enough and blessed and honored to be finishing up my career as Kobe was coming into the league. So I was able to play with him in the summers. And I remember the first time I ever saw him at 15 in a gym full of NBA players and guys who were playing overseas, all of whom had Philadelphia roots. And we'd come back in the summer and we'd find a local high school or college gym and we'd run pickup all day. And I remember that's the first time I laid eyes on Kobe at 15. And knew when I left that day that I had seen something special because there was a 15-year-old kid, imagine this, freshman in high school, out there on an NBA court with 9 other NBA players. And he wasn't just out there filling a spot. He was out there to do things and be competitive, and he wanted the ball, and he wanted to compete against those guys. And he's just, to me, like, the epitome of what Philadelphia basketball's all about in such a tight-knit community. And I'm, blessed and honored to have known Kobe going back to that time and had a chance to play against him in the league. Competed with him in an All-Star weekend together back in '97 when he won the dunk contest, and I was in the three-point shootout, so I got to spend some time with him that weekend. And over the years, every time I got an opportunity to be around him, we would always recognize the Philly connection, and it just means so much to guys that have either played high school ball or college ball in the area. How much it means to be part of that community. And Kobe, like I said, he's the brightest star of all of them.
He was sort of the bridge of a generation from Michael Jordan to now LeBron James and going forward. But his impact on the game itself, Tim, how would you describe what Kobe Bryant did to the NBA brand of basketball?
Well, I think the greatest tribute you can give to a player is to understand the way that he worked at his craft and how much he loved the game perpetuates an entire generation to love it more. And that's really what Kobe Bryant was. If you think about the history of the league, there are certain guys that are, really influential, more influential than others over generations. And Kobe Bryant's one of the most influential, not only players that ever played in the NBA, Mike, he's one of the most influential athletes of all time in terms of the number of players that emulated him, looked up to him, and wanted to be him. And so that's, to me, the greatest compliment you can give a player is you never cheated the game. He loved the game. He gave everything he had to it, and as a result, he influenced an entire generation of athletes to want to be like Kobe Bryant. I mean, what more can you do to honor someone than to try to want to be like them? And if you interview, the players and went across the league, 450 guys now, it's amazing how many guys grew up wanting to be Kobe Bryant. So that, to me, is the greatest testament you can give to a player. And for me, the combination of the athletic ability with the fundamentals, this was one of the most fundamentally sound players the league has ever seen, despite his raw athletic ability. And a guy that was just a testament to what loving the game is all about. You just want to continue to perfect who you are as a player, and that was Kobe at all times. I mean, one of the most competitive people that's ever lived.
Tim, I've covered professional sports and major college sports for more than 25 years. I've been around some of the marquee franchises in college basketball, college football, and NBA and NFL as well. And I'll say this about Kobe Bryant. I've never seen a competitor play through more pain and still be great while doing it than Kobe Bryant, whether it was a broken finger, separated shoulder, a banged up knee. Like, this dude played through anything if he was capable of playing at all. It literally took a broken foot or a ruptured Achilles to get him off the court. Can you speak to his ability to play through pain that every NBA player goes through sometimes, that the average dude would sit out, but Kobe would go out there and drop 40 on you?
Yeah, that's a great point, and I think for me, the way you sum that up with Kobe is the reason I have so much admiration and respect is, Kobe was one of those guys I considered a guaranteed investment of my time. For the next 2.5 hours, if I was going to watch Kobe Bryant play, I knew what I was going to get. I was going to get a guy that never cheated a single play. He never frame of mind. He never was lazy on the court. He never took a play off. He never laid on a screen. He never jogged back on defense. He was a guy that for the next 2.5 hours, as a basketball fan, you were going to get a guaranteed return on your investment of time. And that you could only do that by playing through injuries, because we all feel it. I mean, I played 10 years in the league, and there's not a guy that plays in the course of an NBA season that's not feeling it every single day. And some guys have minor things, some more major, but all of us feel it. And so to go out there night after night, I think he played more than 80 games 6 times in his career. To go out there night after night with the kind of responsibility that the superstars have on their shoulders and play through that stuff, Kobe Bryant is the epitome of what that is. So I think it's a great point for him, and that's one of the reasons I'm so sad today, Mike, is because you give so much to the game as a player, and he did it for 20 years, and then to make the transition to the next phase of your life, because you miss so much as a parent, as a husband, as a family man, giving to the game, because it consumes you to such an extent to be great and to make it to that. To then make the transition and the things you have to look forward to with the rest of your life, and to celebrate that time with your family, and to do all those things that you so looked forward to as a player, but you couldn't commit to because of your craft. That, to me, is what's so tragic in this. And having 2 children, my kids and know what those times were like traveling to tournaments and spending all of that time together. To me, the things that are left undone for Kobe to do and the great things he was going to